guys, Samuel and Audrey here, and today we're showing you around the historic port town of Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. This was the first stop of a road trip along Nova Scotia's south shore, and I don't think we could have chosen a more picturesque spot. In this video, we'll go on a harbour tour for the best views of Lunenburg, we'll learn about the town's fishing heritage with a visit to the Fisheries Museum of the Atlantic, we'll stumble upon a chandlery overflowing with trinkets and treasures, we'll sip on maple rum and fruity liqueurs in Nova Scotia's first micro-distillery, we'll admire the buildings in the old town, which are painted in the most cheerful of colors, and a whole lot more. So join us as we share some of the best things to do in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. The following is our Lunenburg travel guide. Well, good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys.
Welcome to Lunenburg.
Yeah, a place we've wanted to visit in Nova Scotia for years.
For a very long time.
Yep.
This is probably the most picturesque, postcard-perfect town, maybe even in all of Canada, I would say. So we are very excited to be here.
Yeah.
First full day, we're planning to just wander around on foot, check out the museums.
Yeah, exactly. Touring. There's some great seafood, local seafood as well.
Yeah.
Plenty to do, and this is also a great place to obviously hop on a boat and do some a boat tour. There's also whale watching available, so we're hoping to do it all, and we're so pumped to be here. Of course, the first place we visited in Lunenburg was the Waterfront. After all, this is a town with a big seafaring past. Plus, we were kind of drawn in by the sailboats, fishing vessels, tall ships, and everything else in between.
So we've been having lots of fun wandering along here on the waterfront. There's just so many photos to be had. Everything is so colorful. Now normally this would be the part where we'd present the iconic Bluenose II, but she wasn't in port. For any non-Canadians wondering what I'm talking about, the Bluenose appears on our 10-cent coin, and the Bluenose II is the replica of this original fishing and racing schooner. To give you a bit of history, the original Bluenose was launched on March 26, 1921 in Lunenburg. She was designed by William Rouet and built by the Smith & Rowland shipyard. She was built with a specific mission, to win the International Fisherman's Race. This was a race involving working vessels and fishermen who earned their living on the seas. Long story short, she earned her first trophy in 1921, and over the next 17 years, no challenger would overtake her. This is how she earned the title of Queen of the North Atlantic and landed herself on our currency. But now back to sightseeing. Just a random pile of ice here on the road.
I'm gonna add a few of these rocks to my whiskey tonight.
Oh.
Why not?
It might taste a little fishy.
Yeah, it'll fit in the cup.
One of the coolest finds during our visit to Lunenburg was the Lunenberg Chandlery. Sam and I were randomly walking around snapping photos when we stumbled upon this place selling all manner of nautical items for ships and boats. It was really the display of buoys or buoys that caught our attention, and then we set foot inside what felt like a collector's paradise. We got to chatting with the owner, John, who was super informative and really fun to talk to.
We've been amazed that people have found this place because it's kind of the end of the road here, and but the right people seem to find it. People that like to explore and get into the sort of the boat building area, which of course is down here. Our whole complex is connected to the Dory shop, and over here is the Picton Castle. You see, there's a tall ship, Picton Castle, built in 1928. So that's been around the world, many times. So, you know, we have a little of everything for hardware, and it sort of divides itself into this is all for sale, working, making, splicing, sewing, whatever. This is all the pulleys. And there's no end to pulleys on vessels. So this is not every type, but certainly close to every type you could have. Over here, this is sort of an array of turnbuckles. And then all sorts of little fasteners. I mean, everybody has a need for an eyelet, you know, that kind of thing. They're belaying pins.
Okay.
You know,
Is that for the wheel?
Remember the movies? Every time the ship starts having a little problem with the crew usually grab it. They do?
A good smash, huh?
Oh my gosh.
It works.
But I'm always selling, so
Right.
as much as I collect, it's pretty much keeps going. And I can't find it.
Yep.
I can't find near as much as I used to be able to find. So. So this is a really, rigging knife because it's got a straight edge. It's not a fillet, it's not for fish. And so it's a real cutting knife like this. And this is from a tradition of having to stop the sailors from stabbing each other. Because there were always fights going. There were fights going on.
Oh yeah, sure.
Imagine being at sea for 2 years. And that's what they give this blunt affair for, because it's really not a stabbing knife. And it's remained that way. And this one's made in Sheffield, England, and it's by Adams, J. Adams, and that's a well-known company. Yeah.
Well, that's going to make the perfect gift.
Oh,
Thank
there
you so
go.
much.
Yeah.
If you want to find this place, it's just at the end of Bluenose Drive, right before you hit the dory shop and the pier. Well worth the peruse, and as you can see, they even have items for non-boat owners like ourselves. We walked away with some Christmas tree buoys, or buoys, and a cool knife. So it is now lunchtime here in Lunenburg, and we have come over to the Smoke Pit BBQ. We just finished ordering some brisket, mac and cheese with aged cheddar, and a mandarin soda. I know you're probably wondering, where's the seafood? And we will be having some seafood for dinner, but we've been eating a lot of it this week. So when we saw smoked barbecue, we were like, yeah, you know what? That sounds good.
Mix it up a little, right?
We are mixing it up. So cheers.
Cheers.
With our soda from Mexico, jarritos, which means little jars. Let's try this.
It's the mandarin flavor, so like the mandarin orange. How's it?
That's good.
You like that?
That is better than Fanta, my friends.
Oh, wow.
Real taste of fruit.
Take that, Fanta.
Take that. Say hello to my brisket sandwich. Check that out.
Whoa.
Thing of beauty. Ugh. This bun just feels so fluffy, toasted on the inside. It's got brisket, pickles, mayo, mustard. It's so tender, guys.
The cameraman always has food envy behind the lens.
Yes, he does. I just love the meat. It's so soft. It has a smokiness to it. So good. I am really happy with what we've ordered. Seriously, I just needed a little break from seafood, you know. I love lobster, crab, and fish and chips as much as the next person, but we've been having it on a daily basis, and this is a nice way to mix it up. So for anyone else that's doing a long trip around Nova Scotia, there are other things to try aside from seafood, like this wonderful cheddar mac and cheese. Oh baby.
Why don't you bring that close? You can see the steam coming off.
So the Bluenose II may not have been in port, but we did come across the Bluenose II Store, so we popped in for some souvenirs. My favorite purchase was my Bluenose East Coast Living t-shirt, which I proceeded to rock on an almost daily basis for the rest of the trip.
One of our favorite things to do in Lunenburg was to cruise the harbor. There are all sorts of tours to choose from, including harbour tours, whale tours, fishing tours, you name it. We ended up choosing the 1-hour tour, which was $30 per person. The weather was perfect. We had blue skies, nice light, and the views of the town were picture perfect. If you want the iconic shot of the brightly painted houses, church steeples, and boats bobbing in the water, this is the tour you want to take. Or you can also drive out by the golf course, but the harbor cruise is an experience in and of itself, so we'd highly recommend making time for this one activity.
So we just finished the 1-hour harbor tour.
What a boat tour, honestly. I mean, you get the postcard perfect shots of Lunenburg.
Yeah.
I mean, and we had the light shining, and then 5 minutes after our tour, it was cloudy again. So it's like we had everything cooperating for us. I mean, our guide was fantastic, so informative. It was just a fantastic tour and a great way to see Lunenburg from, I mean, when you're walking around the town, you see the buildings up close, but when you're out in the water like that, you get a whole perspective of the town, which is just fantastic.
We lucked out with our visit because during the summer months there's live music at the Zwicker's Wharf. It was nice to see lots of people out enjoying the band, and there was even a bit of dancing.
It was down in Moon, just by the road, on the corner by the square. The usual crowd was assembled, and Big Joe McKenna was there.
Next up, we're going to walk over to the Fisheries Museum of the Atlantic, which is already open. And that's a museum that deals with the fishing heritage here in Atlantic Canada. And what's really cool is that they have a lot of volunteers and retired fishermen on site to share stories, answer your questions. They also do demonstrations and have different activities during the day. So we're gonna walk on over there next and see what's happening at the Fisheries Museum.
Can't wait to do that.
The Fisheries Museum of the Atlantic is housed in these brightly painted red heritage buildings, which were once the home of National Sea Products. The former fish processing plant now houses different galleries where visitors can explore stories about the town's fishing heritage, stormy seas, and community life in a fishing town. We really enjoyed the displays, and it was nice to have the interpreters on site who were able to answer all my questions about blue lobsters, because yes, those exist. If you'd like to visit, the museum is open seasonally from mid-May through mid-October.
After our museum visit, we decided to grab some ice cream at Sweet Treasure's Confectionery. They also sell homemade fudge just in case you're craving a little something sweet.
So we saw people eating ice cream and we just had to stop and get a cone of our own. This is the smallest size, by the way.
Single.
This is unbelievable.
What flavors did you get?
I got the homemade strawberry and pistachio, and you got
Maple walnut and peanut butter. I think it was Eureka or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Let me blow the hair out of my face and take a bite.
Tell me how that is. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, homemade too, by the way, in a waffle cone.
Oh my
Gotta
gosh.
love that. Good stuff. All right, hurry up so I can have mine.
How's that ice cream?
It was so next level good. Flavors are just fantastic. At least I ordered from the homemade selection.
Me too.
Oh, you did too? Some of the best ice cream I've had in years, to be honest. That's like Argentina, Italy good. That's not good.
We then decided to go on a little DIY walking tour of Lunenburg's Old Town. We came across the Lunenburg Opera House, which is fashioned after an old European music hall. We saw some cool street art featuring this lovely blue whale, and then we just kept walking uphill past the town hall and some really pretty houses. So we are now taking a quick break, sitting on a lovely little bench here in front of St. John's Anglican Church. And this is actually the second oldest Protestant church still remaining in all of Canada. It looks like a work of art.
Yeah.
We tried going in, but the door is locked.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you visit, come on up here, check it out. We're going to continue our little walking tour and actually just take a little stroll through the neighborhood, admire the different homes because they're all so colorful and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And they have these lovely manicured gardens. So yeah, it's been a really fun afternoon so far.
It has. And I just want to quickly add that as you basically head up the hill, each street becomes a little bit less touristy. And the further you go, you just get right into residential areas and very colorful homes. So we can't wait to check them out.
One of our favorite things to do in a new place is to just walk up and down the streets without much of a plan. In Lunenburg, this was a real pleasure because all of the houses were painted in such cheerful colors contrasted by white trim, the windows donned flower boxes, and the porches looked so inviting. If you're the type who likes to do imaginary house shopping and wonder what it would be like to live in the places you visit, well, this is a really fun town to do so. So today has kind of been the prime example of chatting with locals, asking for advice, tips, where to go, and just discovering some real gems thanks to them sharing some of their favorite spots in the city. So right now we've come to both the cemetery and this academy atop a hill, two places that we hadn't even read about in guidebooks or anywhere else.
This isn't near the tourist area at all.
No, you gotta walk uphill.
Right in the residential zone. And just beautiful, beautiful places, especially the architecture of this place, stunning. And there's a man practicing opera right now.
Yes, like we're sitting here on a bench admiring a beautiful building and listening to opera. I mean, like, can it get any better?
And we've even got shade. Look at that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a little bit too perfect, isn't it?
Life is good. This building is the Lunenburg Academy, National Historic Site of Canada, and it is set on a hilltop at the edge of the old town. In 19th century Nova Scotia, academies were regarded as the most prestigious publicly funded secondary institutions in the county. This academy was designed in the Second Empire style with mansard-style roofs, and it's quite ornate. Well worth the visit if you have the time.
Hillcrest Cemetery sits directly behind the Academy, and it's the oldest Protestant cemetery in Lunenburg and one of the oldest in all of Canada. The earliest marker dates back to 1761, 8 years after Lunenburg was established. It also contains Commonwealth war graves from World War I and World War II.
Going to take you for a nice little walk on the Bay to Bay Trail. This is a walking and biking trail that actually connects Lunenburg with Mahone Bay. We're going to be visiting Mahone Bay tomorrow, and it's a 10-kilometer trail one way, so it'll take you about 2 hours if you want to walk from Lunenburg to Mahone Bay. We're just doing a small section of it around the backside of Lunenburg, and it kind of runs parallel to the lighthouse coastal route that you can actually drive. So yeah, we thought we'd do it. Again, we spotted this on the map just by chance, and it's a beautiful day to be out. So yeah, we're gonna take you on this little walk, and then we'll head on over to the Ironworks Distillery.
Next up, we rewarded ourselves with a visit to Ironworks Distillery, Nova Scotia's first micro-distillery, to sample some of their spirits. They're all about sourcing local ingredients, and none of the fruits they use travel more than 150 kilometers to their facility. Let's go in for a tipple, shall we?
All right, so we've now made it down to Ironworks Distillery. This is pretty cool because it's set in a former blacksmith workshop. And yeah, I'm gonna be trying a liqueur. This one is raspberry flavored, so cheers. Ooh, that is quite nice. I do like this one. They have nice little sets where you can choose 3 different bottles. So I'm thinking that would be a nice gift for family, perhaps for ourselves.
Indeed.
We'll see. This is pretty tasty, so I kind of want to keep a bottle.
So next up, I'm trying the blueberry liqueur. Can't wait to try this. I mean, blueberries are famous here in Nova Scotia, so why not have it in a liqueur, right? Oh, that's nice and sweet. It almost reminds me a bit of the pie filling you'd have, but obviously, you know, it's got the punch of the liquor too. Very good. Number 3.
Number 3, rhubarb, guys.
Actually, that comes in this set here, so that's only...
That's nice. That one's chilled. I like that it has a little bit of acidity, sourness. That's good. I really like all 3. Like, I could go with those 3 flavors.
So last but not least, we're having maple rum, and this is the one that I selected because I mean, when you can have something with maple, how can you not when you're in Canada?
Why would you pass up the opportunity?
Exactly. Oh yeah, that is delicious. You can just have that straight. It definitely has a taste of maple, but I mean, it still very much tastes like a rum too, so definitely a winner.
Dinner time here in Lunenburg, and tonight we've decided to come and eat at the Salt Shaker Deli and Inn. Starting off with the drinks, I got the Arnold Palmer, which is half iced tea, half lemonade. First time trying this. I thought it sounded interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Something new. Why
Something
not?
new, for sure.
There we go. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, I can honestly tell you guys I'm not doing a commercial for Propeller. I just wanted to have 2 drinks. That's how thirsty I am. So one is a ginger beer. I had that a few days ago in Halifax. One of my new favorite ginger beers, so I'll open that in a minute. But for now, I am trying the Propeller Pilsner. So cheers. It just tastes so much better after you've been walking around in the sun for so long. Okay, let's try the ginger beer. Let me tell you guys, this has some bite to it. Like any good ginger beer should. Just like clears out your nasal cavity.
What a lovely thing to hear at the table.
Oh my gosh. You like breathed it in. Oh yeah. Oh man. It's got some bite.
Let's do this. Tacos with shrimp, cilantro, tomato, red onions. How am I gonna do this?
And you got 3 of them. Oh, I hear the crunch. Crunchy-tastic.
That is very tasty. The tacos are just loaded with shrimp. And I like that the tortilla is actually kind of crispy. I've never had it like that before. It's just a different way of preparing it. But it's good, it works.
Yeah, you're going in for more. That's how I know it's good. Dun, 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 dun. Pizza! Seafood pizza! I've been craving pizza, and to be able to get a seafood pizza, amazing. Or as they say in Italia, frutte di mare, fruits of the sea. So I've got scallops, shrimpies, mussels, and keepers.
Yeah.
red onion, and mozzarella cheese.
Big on in.
Ooh, it's nice and thin crust. Nice thin crust pizza. Check out that, guys. Just jacked with seafood. That is delicious. It's an excellent pizza. I've been walking around all day long, so I've built up an appetite even after that big ice cream. I'm ready for this. If you're into photography and you're looking for some cool photo ops, Tannery Road just before you hit the golf course is where to get the classic shot. But even if you're not into photography and you just want to enjoy a pretty sunset, this is a nice spot and there's an area where you can park your car.
And for anyone interested in where we stayed, I booked us a room at the Mariner Inn, which is actually spread out across several buildings in the center of town. Our room was in the Cranberry Suites, which is the bright fuchsia building over here. I like that we were smack dab in the heart of Lunenburg and we could walk everywhere, plus they also had a really nice breakfast that was served in the sunroom in the main building. However, my favorite part of this inn was riding the nautical/underwater themed elevator, complete with the whale and octopus. It's the little things.
And that is a wrap for our Lunenburg travel guide. It's crazy to think we did all of that in one day, but yes, it is possible. We stayed in town for an additional 3 days, so we'll be sharing some fun day trips to Mahone Bay, LaHave Islands, and more. If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and join us for the rest of our road trip across Nova Scotia. See you on the road!